Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Living with the Times. This week, we begin a new book of the Torah, the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus. And in this week's Parsha, we begin the story of the enslavement of Israel in Egypt, and as the book progresses, the eventual redemption. And in this Parsha, we have the very famous, important incident of the burning bush, where God first appears to Moshe and appoints him as the leader who will bring Israel out of Egypt. There's so much to learn about the burning bush. The first thing we see is that Moshe stopped to look at it. He was shepherding the sheep, and he saw this bush burning, and the Torah says that he stopped and said, "What is this bush that's burning and is not consumed?" And when he went over to see, that is when God appeared to him. So one of the things that we learn from this is God is sending us signs all the time, signs from heaven. The question is, how many times do we stop and look? So the commentaries point out that even though this might seem like a small detail in the Torah, it actually is telling us something very deep, that the circumstances of our life is the way that God is speaking to us, and that we need to train ourselves to be sensitive to those messages that are being sent. In this case, the message was a bush that was burning and not consumed. Hasneh bo'er be'esh ve'einenu ukal. And one of the commentaries, Rashi, so he asks, why a sticker bush? If God is going to appear to Moshe for the first time, one might think it would be some grandiose vision or a fire of this great palm tree or something. Here it was a lowly bramble sticker bush. So Rashi says that this is also a sign from God. Imo anochi b'tzara. God was saying, I am with him in his sorrow. This is a verse. And what we learn from this is God was saying, my children are enslaved in Egypt right now, and I am with them in their tsar. So I'm appearing in a lowly sticker bush. And then we have this unnatural phenomenon that you have a bush that's burning but is not consumed. And so here we see that there's two types of fire. There is a natural type of fire that does consume. Whatever it is burning, it will consume it. And we're told this represents the fires of desire, of bodily passion, that the body desires something, but eventually that fire burns out. But then there's a holy fire, Eish Kodesh, that, like the bush that is burning and is not consumed, it does not consume. And the more energy we give to it, the more it burns. This is the desire to be close to God, the desire to live a meaningful life, the passion for spirituality, for Torah, for mitzvot, for doing good deeds. And even more than this, we're told that God was really revealing to Moshe all of Jewish history would be like a bush that is burning but would not be consumed. So if we look at Jewish history, we see a long story of slavery, oppression, wars, inquisitions, expulsions, pogroms, ghettos, Holocaust. And now in Israel, war after war. And as we speak, we're involved in another war. And yet the bush is not consumed. And here we could see, and I'm sure everyone is following the news and maybe seeing videos of our soldiers who are fighting in Gaza right now. And here you see a bush that is burning and is not consumed. We have a whole generation that has left their jobs, their wives, their children, and are willing to sacrifice it all to defend Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. And so here we see a bush burning with faith, with trust, and with determination that never again we have to show the world that never again will we be the recipients of such brutality and such cruelty. And so here we see yet another example of a story in the Torah that seems to have happened to one person, Moshe, but we see the Torah is eternal, the Torah is archetypal, and the bush that burns and is not consumed is our reality right now. So may Hashem bless us to hold on to this holy fire and the passion to be able to show ourselves in the world who we are, and that we deserve to live in peace in our homeland. And with God's help, we will be victorious, which means that the world will be victorious, and we can throw off the shackles of terrorism and lead the world to a full redemption.